Anthony Mackie. It's been 5 years since Steve Rogers passed the shield on to Sam Wilson, right? We saw that in Endgame. A lot of people were not happy about it. A lot of people thought it should go to Bucky. But it's been 5 years since that point. And we still have not seen Captain America in an actual movie. We saw Falcon and Winter Soldier, which was not very well received. People did not like that. Well, now he's finally going to get his chance to be Captain America, Black Captain America, Sam Wilson, in Captain America Brave New World, because New World Order just had a bad ring to it, apparently. This has gotten renamed. This has gotten reshot. And apparently there are still problems with this. This is going to go down as one of the most expensive movies in history. As of a few months ago, it was reported around a $375 million budget. And apparently they might not be done with this movie. Captain America Brave New World reshoots reportedly balloon budget to $375 million. It's like they're shooting a brand new movie. These are the reports from a couple months ago. Well, now we've seen a lot of trailers, things like this. This is very much out there. Apparently, after a third bad test screening in a row, there's still changes they want to make to this movie. Captain America Brave New World is undergoing additional changes due to poor test screenings for the third time in a row. Now, they were unclear as to whether or not that will include reshoots or whether they think they can salvage something in a different edit in some kind of way. Obviously, still 3 or 4 months before we see this thing in theaters. February of 2025 is when it's scheduled to be released. Happy Black History Month, by the way. But, dude, if it's still this bad, if you still can't get it right, this thing is over. You're already setting yourself up for failure. We need to hit $1 billion just to break even.
Yeah, and we're talking about a character nobody cares about. Nobody's interested in this. This is not the Captain America that, even with, like, I love Chris Evans' Captain America. I think he's one of the great castings of all time in superheroes. I'm not even a big fan of Chris Evans, but him as Cap, he's fantastic. He's a perfect Captain America. Even with Chris Evans in this role, without them building something like, around it, like with, Civil War. Like, what did Civil War make at the box office?
Over $1 billion.
It did make over $1 billion, but you had everybody in that.
That was an Avengers movie.
That was basically an Avengers movie. Winter Soldier did not break $1 billion. Winter Soldier, what did it do? Like 700 or 800 million, maybe.
Yeah, that was in a different MCU era, though.
It was, but that was a great MCU film, and that's probably, a lot of people will put that as a top 3 MCU film of all time. My point being is that Captain America as a character, even with the best casting possible, he wasn't turning $1 billion
by himself. Yeah.
By himself, he just wasn't. Iron Man was pushing the needle. Iron Man was doing all this. Now you have an irrelevant Black Captain America that nobody was asking for in a movie that's a complete disaster. You've completely shifted everything, whether it be the title of the movie, reshoots. This thing is a complete disaster in every single way. I think you're looking at a Flash situation right now.
Flash?
I think that's how big of a disaster this is going to be. Because didn't Flash have an insane budget around it too, because of all of the reshoots and everything that they had to do?
I don't know if it was around 400 million, but it was a lot. It was a lot. It was big time, and that was a big flop.
Yeah, and so this right here, I could see this coming out and just nobody caring about this and going to see it. I mean, the reason I say the Flash is because we were shocked at how bad that movie failed. Do you remember that? Like, even we were like, dude, what?
With the known budget, we were like, yeah, that's obviously not going to make money, right? But we'll see. Like, but it did very bad. What did the Flash do?
Like 350, 400?
Let's see.
Worldwide?
The Flash. No, 266.
What?
Yeah. Because, like, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, this might be like get you Black Adam type of returns, despite the fact that it should have been a much bigger movie. 266 million.
That is horrible. Wow.
Michael Keaton's return.
You got Batman in it. You've got everything. Anyway.
Well, remember, like, the DC movies, as bad a state as in Marvel is in, like, there's a reason that they were like, all right, let's fucking restart everything with James Gunn. Because, like, the last 7 DC movies have been complete and total financial failures, with the exception of one, The Batman. That's the only thing that DC released in like the last 5 years that hasn't been a financial failure, whether it was Birds of Prey, whether it was Black Adam, Aquaman 2, Shazam 2, The Flash, Suicide Squad, or The Suicide Squad, which at least you can have the excuse there that it was released on Max at the same time because of all the fucking pandemic bullshit. Same thing with Wonder Woman 1984. But I question whether either of those movies would have broken even without the initial release on Max as well.
Yeah. No, this is setting up to be an all-timer. Now it will probably make more than the Marvels, but it's probably going to be in that neighborhood. That's how bad I think this movie is going to be. It'll make more than the Marvels, which is the lowest grossing MCU film of all time, correct?
Yes.
But it will make more than the Marvels, I think. But it ain't going to be much more. And they are setting themselves up for an absolute disaster. And they deserve it, by the way. This is DEI. This is didn't earn it right here, right in front of our faces. No, listen, I think Anthony Mackie's a really good actor. But you're throwing him into a role that no one wants him in. He did not earn the right to be called Captain America. And the audience is going to look at this and think the same thing.
And he's a character that people really actually liked.
Yes.
Like Sam Wilson, very much liked as Falcon in his roles throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But now he's in a role where people don't want to see him.
Right.
And like this is the situation. That's how it was in the comic books as well when Sam Wilson took over. So it shouldn't really come as a surprise that this is what's happening in the live action version as well. I see some people mentioning Joker when it comes to DC. Yeah, that was back in 2019. That was 5 years ago when the first Joker came out. Since then, they've had failure after failure after failure.
Including Joker 2.
DCU movies. Blue Beetle. I forgot to mention Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Joker 2, financial failure. The Batman is the only thing that's made money for them in 5 years.
That's crazy. Crazy run, man. Crazy run. But there you go. Black Captain America setting up to be a massive failure. Who could have seen this coming? Man. Such a surprise, Ryan. So surprised by this.
Yeah.
Not really at all.
I am surprised by how big the budget is. Whew. And this is not one of those things where, hey, they filmed it in the UK and they get a tax break. This was in Georgia. So you're not going to get that 25% off the top, the massive, massive deep discount that you see for some of these other things. I think this was filmed in Georgia. I'm pretty sure. Despite everyone virtue signaling over not filming in Georgia a couple years ago.
You get what you deserve, Marvel. You get what you deserve.